Hey, it's your boy Naftastic, and welcome back. We're continuing from where we left off with our United game. Um, Today we're playing the under-21s in a friendly match, and this is basically going to be my starting 11. With Evra, Vidic, Smalling, Rafael at the back, Carrick, Fellaini in the sort of central midfield, with Carrick playing sort of deep line playmaker, and Fellaini just sort of being that box-to-box midfielder. There's cams, but they're sort of the wider cams, with Rudy through the middle as my shadow striker, and up top we've got Robin van Persie, obviously. um, that is my strongest 11, but with the formation change, I mean, I should be beating my under-21s, but I'm not fully confident right now because there's a steep learning curve to be had. Because basically, you've got moving parts, different roles. Rooney plays deeper anyway, so he's okay. But with the narrowness of the midfield, they have to adapt to that because United typically play with wide men who stretch the flanks, run down the wing, get the ball in. Obviously, that changes with Januzaj and Kagawa because they're going to sort of drive through the middle and quicken up the play. I mean, that is no doubt going to happen. But there will be some definite learning to be had about how to adapt and still use the wings, but link up a lot tighter and quicker with the rest of the midfield. Later in this episode, we're going to continue some negotiations for transfers. I mean, we didn't get much done last time, but we got our interest in. I know I outlined my main targets being Edgar Alvarez, Balanta, Koke, can't remember who else I had. They were the main two, but yeah, and some other cams where I could get them. They will continue to be and Ravel Morrison. I'm gonna put bids in for them definitely after this game's over. See what is gonna happen. I've also scouted a few people, so those scouting reports will come back, and we'll look at that. But at the moment, with this match between the under-21s, they've just scored a goal. Pretty terrible defending. He just left 5 men in the box there, and he got a good shot on the rebound without really much of a challenge. Also, what do you guys think about the 3D match engine? I mean, it runs a bit slow for me, but I think that's more my computer issue. But I mean, would you prefer to see that, or would you rather just stay with the 2D mode? I personally like the 2D mode because it shows the tactics, but for replays, I don't mind showing you the 3D match engine just because you can see how the goals scored in more depth than just seeing a blob with the ball going into the net. But I'll leave that up to you. I will continue it for now. Maybe change it as it goes along if it takes too long to load, etc. We are having a lot of possession in this match, but we're not really making the most of it. I mean, we're not getting any clear-cut chances. We're leaving the under-21 still in the game. I mean, this is not like the weakest under-21 squad. I mean, Anderson, I think Fletcher's still in this. They're all in the under-21s at the moment. So, it's not a terrible under-21 squad, but I should still be beating them. There you go, there's your equaliser. Link up between Van Persie and Rooney. We all expect that to be a boss of a combination as the season wears on. And again, look at that. My under-21 defending is poor. One thing I did like though is that under-21s are using my tactics. So they obviously have the same learning curve that we to have as well. But they're all younger players, and I mean, I'd like to see them develop and adapt to that also. Because then when it comes to the Capital One Cup, like maybe even the FA Cup's early rounds, I want to bring them in and give them the opportunity to play in the system and get that first team experience. Because that's important for their own development also. The under-21s are really putting a good shift in now, to be honest. I mean, we might be dominating the play, but they're not letting me just roll them over with ease. Is that in? There you go. Second goal. Van Persie with the goal. Again, with Rooney with the assist. That link-up is working nicely already. I mean, defending again is shocker. I mean, how you let Van Persie have the time and space to control it, take a touch, and get the shot off. That's just not acceptable. the good thing about FM is you have the option to be really hands-on with your under-21s and your youth academy, but you don't need to be either. Like, you could just delegate it off. I think I'll have like a balance of it. I mean, I want to ensure that they're focusing on certain attributes, but I'm not gonna be like managing them in matches, etc. I'll leave that to my, other staff members. So I've made a whole load of changes, and from this point onwards, I mean, we've taken the lead. I'm not really fussed about where the game goes from here. I'd like to win it, but we put a good shift in with the first 11. Now it's just an opportunity for the rest of the guys to get used to playing in the system and get some fitness also. Under 21s are pushing forward. They've got their equaliser. That's a good goal from them. Look at the defensive shape though. I mean, the line is not flat, and there's so much space in behind, like sort of everyone, whoever that Vidic actually. So that area is just completely exposed. Midfield pressing is not good enough. Definite improvement needs to be had. I mean, that will be something I'll be addressing in training. Can we get a winner later on? Is that Van Persie breakthrough? No one in the box supporting him. I mean, one thing I'd like to see is when someone's driving in like that and they're down the wing, you want someone running through the middle, just as an option. That's something that Hernandez does quite well. So, that's 2-2. Not the best result, but not the worst. With my first 11, we were winning that game, but that doesn't excuse my second string not coming on and, doing well also. I scouted Matuidi. He's available for like, what's that? Between 5 and 7.5 million. It's tempting, He's a really good player, really good DM, but I'm not sure that's the type of guy I'm going for. I'd rather have like a ball playing, like sort of deep lying defensive mid that is just someone like Koke who's like could distribute it and just move it around quickly. Especially if I'm gonna have like Kagawa, Yadize, bring in another cab that just couldn't move it around. I want that pace of how we attack to be a lot quicker. I mean, one of the faults for United this season, earlier this season, is the build-up play was so slow, and that obviously allows defenses going American defenses to reset and adjust to the attack. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm offering out Ashley Young, try and get as much as I can from him, put it up for 15 million. It's a pretty good value. I mean, if I can get close to that, I'll be very happy. Anderson, again, I'm offering him out as well. I mean, just because I'm doing it on the game, it's not like I address the same things in real life. And with these two players, probably would. But other players like Valencia, I probably wouldn't sell them in real life because they have some value as a squad member. And what I'd rather be doing is strengthening the squad rather than, depleting the resources. I'm putting bids in, and Kurt Zuma is one guy that if I don't get Belanta, I'd be happy to get Zuma. So I'm putting a bid in for him as well. The Ravel Morrison situation is a bit tricky because I want to pay something below 10 million, but I have a feeling they're going to charge more. So what's this thing? It's a bit of a meeting with the press, nothing to it. Sam Allardyce has obviously spoken about my interest. He's not gonna speak outwardly about it, but that is a good indication for me because it means that I have a chance of signing him, which is great because I want him. Samuel Umtiti is also another guy that I lined up as a backup for Edgar Alvarez. He will probably cost quite a bit of money because Lyon rate him highly, so do France. Barcelona showed interest in Rafael. I'm not going to sell Rafael because he's my best right back and he's great value in that position. I mean, obviously, that's why Barcelona coming in for him, but, it's unsettling because I know now that I'm going to reject the offer flat, that he'll probably want a new deal. So I'll have to manage that situation. But while they're in for my players, I'm going to go back in for them. So I'm going to target centre midfielder. So Sergio Roberto, he's going to be one of my targets. Also, they have a defensive mid called Sergio Sampo, who featured in the Next Gen series, but After that, he's more of a Barcelona B player with Sergio Roberto. Both of them very, very good. Sergio Roberto more probably highly rated than Sergio Sampa, but I'll go after both. I'll scout them a bit first and see if I can make a deal for them. Barcelona are probably not going to sell to me, especially if I don't accept the Rafael bid. So it's a bit ambitious, but it's good to have options and backup options just in case, because as we learned in the summer, you can get caught out if you just go all out for one guy and then it doesn't work out. Anyway, the Koke, they're rating him as 2.5 stars. My scouting. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I haven't really understood why the scouting is so harsh so far. I mean, look at that, 2.5 stars with current ability of 2 stars. I mean, that's ridiculous. Especially when you compare him to my midfielders that I currently have this thing. Now my current midfielders aren't really that much better either. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm really at the moment not trusting what my scouts are saying to the full extent, but going by instinct and how I imagine they'd fit into my system, also on how they perform on the pitch in general. That's really what comes down to anyway. But I mean, he's got some interest in him. I mean, Monaco are going to be really interested in him. I've signed up Carrick and Vidic and Januzaj to new deals, as you can see there. That's really key for me. I mean, that was important that I got that done. And as I said, look at that. Raphael is coming in. It's coming up in the next story. But yeah, here. Raphael is wanting a new deal. I'm going to be flat rejecting that. I mean, his current deal expires in 2016. So that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. If your deal expires in 2016, you're not getting a new deal now. Yeah, and he accepts that. This is the problem with agents. I don't know how it works to the full extent in real life, but I can imagine an agent just being in a player's ear when someone comes knocking for them and just saying, "Look, you either force the issue or you get a new deal." And that must cause so much havoc. It must be such a difficult way to manage that situation without unsettling a player. But hey, that's the way it is. So most of my bids got rejected, as you can see, and no one's interested in Ashley Young-Anderson. Chelsea have made a bid for Valencia, which I just rejected again. I'm not selling him to them. I will be selling him abroad if anyone comes in for him. You also probably saw that a bid for Balanta got accepted there. So I'm going to leave it there this episode, and hopefully in the next one we can get that deal done. So till then, see you guys.